Hello, everyone. It is Regina along with Not So Perfect Parenting. I'm gonna move my camera down here a little bit. I'm actually trying to eat. Trying to eat and get through my lives because I have a class at 8:30. Usually we have it at 7, but it was switched to 8:30. So I'm gonna get on here and try to encourage you guys as I try to encourage myself. And it's late. I'm trying to fill my belly. So I won't say try. I'm going to encourage you and encourage myself. Because sometimes parenting can be wonderful, and then sometimes parenting can be a little hard. And sometimes it's more of the latter. Um, but now that I know a lot more, and I'm learning still and trying to apply these new, not, I wouldn't say new rules, but some of the things that I learned, I don't always get it right. I'm not always very patient. Sometimes I get a try. I'm like, oh, dang, I messed that up. I need to try again. And then I get another try and then I mess it up again. So I'm still learning, but encouraging you all. And tonight, we're going to talk about setting clear boundaries and expectations for kids. And the reason why I want to do that is because here in society, even grown people, it's not just, I don't even know what they call them, Gen X or Gen Z or whoever. It's not just the younger people, it's people in general that do not take accountability for themselves. Everything is everybody else's fault. Um, they don't see why they have to do stuff. Entitlement is running rampant. Everybody's entitled. Everybody feels like they should have something, get something. It should be done for free. And I think there was a turning point. There's been a turning point because I read a book by Thomas Sowell talking about the educational system. And it started talking about when they stopped trying to let people kind of think and it switched over to having them feel. And you can kind of tell when that era started, probably about the late 70s, 80s, and I'm an 80s baby. And people would, instead of saying I think and start thinking logically, people are always saying, well, I feel. And it's okay to feel, but also it's okay to be logic too and have common sense. My dad used to say common sense is not very common, and I totally understand that now. Common sense is not very common. Not everybody has it. So with that, I wanted to start talking about setting clear boundaries for your kids because it's very important to start setting that now. And then you may not have such entitled children, or I got parents saying they're getting beat up by their kids and their kids are like 3 and 4. Like, they're little bitty people. You shouldn't be getting punched in the face by a 3-year-old. Like, that's insane to me. So on this channel right now, I'm still encouraging, but and I'm not judging. But my goodness, 3 and 4, you getting beat down every day. That's a lot. So I want to talk about setting clear boundaries and expectations. And one of the things that I looked up, and one of the things I was talking to a couple of friends about, was that kids need to understand that rewards come with effort, respect, and responsibility. So I remember back in the day when you used to have like sporting events and all that. And if you didn't win first place, or second or third, whatever the trophies were, you went home empty handed. It was okay, see you next time, better luck. And a lot of times the kids, I wasn't very good at sports. I tried it, I wasn't that good. So anyway, but guess what I did? I went home empty handed. And did that make me feel bad? Sometimes, yeah. It was great to see my friends get awards and things like that. But it also made me want to work harder. Or guess what? I found out I wasn't good at sports. So even though I did it for exercise and because my friends did it and things like that, I found things that I was good in. And I found out that I was great in speech and debate. And so I was in oratorical contests and things like that. And so I would win, get medals, go to state, go. It was very fun. So I found what I could do in order to get those rewards. And nowadays, everybody get an award. You show up and you didn't play and you still get something. They now have taught kids like Okay, if you just show up, and which is great, I'm glad you showed up. But how do you get a ribbon from a person who is like really top tier? They don't want you to, oh no, we shouldn't make people feel bad. And no, well, you didn't win first place. That may be harsh, but somebody may have worked harder than you in order to get that place. And I feel like we should go back to, okay, if you didn't get a first, second, third place award, you can get a participation award, okay, but you shouldn't get the big trophies like somebody who came in first place who worked harder or had more points or that kind of thing. I think those systems need to kind of come back because everybody is feeling entitled. They feel like, well, as long as I'm on the bench and I don't do anything, then I'm getting the first place award. And that's not usually how it is. So, setting clear boundaries and expectations for your kids is going to help them to have some type of respect and dignity and work hard. A lot of people nowadays think that they don't have to do anything to just get something. And that's not how society works. There are people who work very hard in other countries and all of that, and they don't expect anything. They just work and then they're like, okay, then I get what I worked for, not technically a handout. So, setting clear boundaries and expectations, kids need to understand that rewards come with effort, respect, and responsibility. Don't give in to demands easily, even if it avoids a meltdown. So a lot of times, and I ain't gonna lie, now that I have grandkids, and I don't do it often now because I don't want to. But there were times where I'm like, all right, well, if you sit down, and then I'm like, no, I was never that parent that I gave candy for bad behavior. Sometimes I may say something rational like, hey, I need you to sit down, and then maybe, we'll exchange or whatever. But I've seen parents that's like, if you please be quiet, I'll give you your Xbox, I'll give you this. And they just took it away from them. And so they don't learn that, you got to probably be disciplined and have decent behavior in order to get your stuff back or to get something. They think in their head like, well, shoot, if I have a meltdown and it embarrassed my mama enough in the store, she gonna give me whatever I want. And so meltdowns become a whole habit. And then when they become 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and adults, it's hard to get over those meltdowns. So it's easier to do it while they're 2 and 3. I'm not sure why 2 and 3 year olds are beating up their parents at this point. Use phrases like, in our house, we earn screen time after chores. We don't get everything we want, and that's okay. And I think that is very important to have kids earn things. When my kids were a little bit younger, my mom actually had to come over and she was like, why are these kids not doing chores? And I was like, Mom, it's just easier for me to go ahead and clean up the kitchen and all that. I don't want them in my kitchen. And she's like, no, they need chores. They need to be on. And I'm like, crap, they do. Because I mean, when we were little, dad made us do chores, whatever. They do need chores. They need certain things that they can earn and all of that. And then you have to let your kids, they don't get everything they want. Just because they stump their feet, they cry, they holler, they fall down, they don't get everything they want. So I want you guys to go on my channel and I want you to see the video of the little girl that her mom is doing gentle parenting with her. And the little girl looks like she's probably about 4 years old, maybe 5, has on a diaper. She's scratching her mom, she's hitting her mom, she threw a chair at her mom, and I guess that's acceptable nowadays. So no, it's not. So I wanted to get on here and encourage you all. We're going to talk about setting boundaries and how we can help our kids not be entitled. I wish I would have intentionally done these things too, because as I have adult children and I see some of these things that I should have done a little bit better and structured my home a lot better as well. So as I'm going through this and encouraging you, I'm going through it with you, and I'm learning things not only for my children but for my grands as well. So, all right, it's Regina Long with Not So Perfect Parenting.